am doing a Tuesday vlog, so you guys be watching this on Tuesday, which is a Valentine's Day, or you might see it after Valentine's Day. So I hope you guys had a good Valentine's Day. Even us single folks, yeah, we still celebrate. But anyway, I wanted to talk about some romance books that I've read this month, and these are books that were on my TBR except for one, and I'm going to tell you what really happened, why this one didn't get on my TBR. So I got my book here because I've read them on my Kindle. They're all on Kindle Unlimited, so pick it up. So the first thing is, I was excited when I discovered this Caribbean romance author. Her name is Kimalisa Ming. I think that's how she pronounced her first name. So she does have a YouTube channel, but I didn't really watch a lot of videos to see how she correctly pronounced her name, but forgive me if it's not right. And so I initially saw this and I got excited because I'm like, okay, let me try it out because I've been on the hunt for romance author. And this one I decided was a short story, to start off with a short story just to get a taste of what she has in store and what she's capable of. And I was in the middle of the first one in terms of how I felt about it. So the main character name is Latavia, and the book is called Fluffy. And as a Caribbean person, fluffy means plus size, and oftentimes it's in a good way, how it's, is used. And in this case, we have a very erotic story. Now, her stories aren't really the typical, I would say, romance. It's more of a dark romance. It's more on the kinky side. So if you're not into stuff like that, these two is just not going to be for you. But this short story, basically, I had an issue with it because I'm really like that person that cannot stand when characters that are plus size are automatically perceived as insecure. So here this woman now find herself at a certain interesting club. Yeah, in the Caribbean, and let's just say, they're doing some things there, and she's already insecure because no one has looked like her. No one has her body structure, and so the insecurities come in there. But then she's watching the things that's happening. I don't even know how to say it properly without this video being flagged too much. But just know things are happening. She's seeing things. And of course, as time goes on in this story, it's like she's desired because no one looks like her for that main reason. So it was cute, but I just didn't like the fact that she was just there trying something new, but then have that insecurity that no one's gonna want you because you think your body is not like everyone there. Yeah. But what I liked is she added a few pages. I think it was like 20 pages to a series. So I was reading those 20 pages and I said, oh, I think I want to continue this. Now this one is not a black romance. It's interracial because of the female character is black, but the male character is white. The male character happens to be the son of the owner of a resort, a spa and resort in the Caribbean. Now what the author did is, she is from Antigua, but she used Antigua and other Caribbean to create this island, this fictional island. And on this island, of course, a lot of people are working for the resort. There's always a connection somewhat to resort, which is typical what you find sometimes where certain communities in the Caribbean are centered around a resort. And what happened is the female character works there. She's a single mom, and she's dating this guy who is pretty much a dog, and she found him having an affair at her home. Yeah, it was one of those where I'm like, wow. And in her quest, there are things happening, how she found out more about his lifestyle. And his lifestyle happens to be where Fluffy was at. But the son happens to be a member of said club as well. And so she's there, not really knowing why she's there, but as she's going through the motion of experimenting, it became a more of a revenge, and that turned into something more than that. And this there's getting to know each other. There's some sparks. There's some going through the motion of her dealing with not only the relationship that went wrong, but as being a mother and protecting your child, because this man was a part of your child's life and the child looked up to this man, and the man was just not a good person. And then also your father's reputation and this idea that all men are cheaters, and she's going through that struggle, and just how she was able to see this man Theo, and Theo was able to show her. There's also those conversation about resorts and people who come to visit and what they get themselves into. There's also racial issue in terms of, he is white, his father is wealthy, and you're the help, and how that works out, that kind of deal. It was interesting. There's a part two. Which is his last wish, which is the brother who had to come back to the island. And I'm going to read it only because it's something about the story. It's not like this extravagant storyline, but it gave me Caribbean. It gave me stories of Caribbean, and you can see that those things happen. There are stories of very much famous places in the Caribbean that's how things happen, where it was the relationship with the help that turned into something else with the son or the daughter of the home. And there are some famous ones that when you hear the story, you're like, wow, it does happen. So I thought that was interesting. And also the scandalous things that happen in resorts. A lot of it is true. A lot of those kind of clubs do exist. So I thought that was interesting reading this. And I felt like she did her research. She probably, knew a little bit too much. She added to the story. So I thought this was interesting. And I will end the series. There's 2 books in there, so I will read the last one. And then we get to our Black romance, which is a author I read almost every February, which is Danielle Allen, and this is Business Casual. And this is about a woman who is a social media person, and companies hire her to help with their social media presence. And in this one, she met this man right before the interview, and there was like chemistry spark, but little did she know when she gets to the interview that he is the son of the CEO, and he's the one that's interviewing her. So there is that chemistry. Ultimately, she got the job because she was qualified to get the job. But you know what happens sometimes in those business situations where if you are involved with the boss, people automatically will assume the worst. And also because this company had a issue in the past of sexual harassment, there are very much have this set in stone that you do not date anyone that you work with. So there's that hiding and that fear of finding out that they both potentially can lose their job, and also the scandal that could come from it if people outside the company hear about it again. So that's something that you're dealing with this story. But you deep down, they have to decide how much do they want to be together, and how much of their career they want to risk. And so there's some things in this that I was like, yeah, that's just so realistic. And then there's some things in this that made me smile and laugh. Because I'm like, oh Lord, they got out of control. They were just all over the offices doing the damn thing, and almost got caught so many times that I literally laughed, and I was like, yeah, they were just wild. But I like how Danielle Allen, sometimes I find I get nervous when I read her books because I feel like she's writing me. She's like my personality. I can see in these female characters so clearly that sometimes I get nervous. I'm like, oh God, is she gonna write about me now? Like, that's how I feel when I'm reading her books. And she's probably one. There's very few authors that do that to me, but Danielle Allen, which is probably why I love her book so much, is because I feel so relatable to characters' personality that I feel like that's something I would do or something I wouldn't do kind of deal. But this didn't give me that. This character, she's definitely not my personality at all. But I do enjoy both of them. I do think that Trey was just like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. And Imani, I do find that she stood up for herself when she needed to. And she still had that business go-getter kind of personality, and she a boss, and she did what she had to do, but she got what she wanted ultimately, because this is a feel-good ending kind of book, and so I was here for it. So that's all I have for right now, these 3 romance. I have 2 more, well, at least that I want to finish before the month end, and I think it's just so great to read it in between some of these heavier books that I have going on. So in the beginning of the video, I show you that I started doing some planting, not a lot, as I need to get my containers that I've had storing outside, and it was cold. I didn't feel like going outside. But I did do some onions and put that in the kitchen, which is so easy to do, because you just, it grows back so quick. You just get the ends of it instead of doing it from seed. But I do have some seed for some lettuce and for some tomato, because I love my lettuce, and I tend to grow. I do well with kale and different other lettuce very well in the spring and summer in my garden. If you're new to my channel, I typically do a little summer garden outside. So yeah, so I will do that more this week. I'm gonna get these containers together and start potting them and growing them inside near windows and stuff, and then once the weather gets decent, transfer them outside. So now we are heading to the junk journal that I was going to show you guys. Now I've had this dolly. I have about 4, I think, of them, or 5 I bought from a vintage store, and I always knew I wanted to use it in some form on a junk journal, so I was excited to be able to do it. And this is another junk journal that is used from brown paper bag. So a lot of my junk journal are brown paper bag or cereal box or cookie box, but I did this in a different form than the other one, because typically I have the 3 fold. This is just 1 well, 2 fold, that kind of deal. So I'm going to set up the camera and give you show you inside of this, and yeah, we're gonna go through what we did here. And this is again a completely different one from ones I've done before in the past, and I was trying to have a clean creative way to do it. Now, the thing about my journals, that if you are new to my channel, is my junk journals are meant for writing. So I do not put a lot inside my junk journal, because I want people to have creativity in their junk journal, be able to do their own spread, have writing room. So I do a lot more of giving you a lot of options and things you can do in your junk journal. So let me set up this camera. Alright, so here we go. So you can see close up, and these are pockets. So I'm considering doing a tag, but it's so beautiful in the cover that I didn't want to put anything. But normally I would just put a tag in here, so you can show you that you can put things in these, because these are all pockets. All pockets, so you can put whatever you want in it. And I did a drawstring as the closure. So here we go. So in the front we have these lace that I dyed and put in, and then we have this pocket in the front. So here goes a tag that you can use to write on. Lots of writing space here, and you can put whatever you want, extra stickers or whatever if you travel. And over here we have a lot of storage. So here you can put stuff in this pocket. There's a bigger pocket, and then you have this tag, which is also a pocket, and you can write on the back of it. And then it opens with a button, and you have on the back here and here. You can always put something on here to cover it and stick anything you want and write. And then you also have writing space here. So I love this, and I was like, this is like another creative way to put something extra in these junk journal. So now we get to the back. This is very plain, but you have a lot of room to do whatever. Here you go. You have an opening. Lots of writing room. Again, writing room. You have a lace here, which you can also use as a form of pocket. Lots of writing room. It's writing room. Then you have another pocket, and this is also a tag, which I love, and you can write all over in the back. A lot of writing room. And again, more pockets, more tag, and you can just pin these anywhere that you want to and write with some white ink on this. And same thing here, and you can use those. And yeah, we have another pocket here, and in this pocket we have another tag, and you can write on this tag. Has space in the back and the back in the pocket, and lots of writing room. Another small pocket here with another small tag, and you just put it in there. Here you got writing room, a lot of writing room. Like I said, this is a writing journal that you can decorate yourself. This is another tag with some lace, some dyeing went on here. And again, writing room to do whatever. This is another tag. You can keep it on, or you can take it off. You can tape it on there. You can do whatever you want. A lot of distress that I use, which is just tea dye. Another sort of pocket that you can use as well. And here we go, writing room. Again, another pocket right here. And then here goes the back of it, so you have more tag. And this is also another pocket, so you can stick something in here and it's not going to go anywhere. And there's two pockets, so here goes the first pocket, and then you have the back pocket, another tag, and you can stuff it in there. And the back pocket is pretty deep, as you can see. I could go all the way down, typically don't, but you can fit a lot in the back pocket. And then there goes another pocket and a huge tag. And this tag, I did a lot of splashing of browns again, but you can always cover it and add some more decoration to these tags. And there's another lace in here. And that is it for this one. I really love this. It's just something different, and also very much have a lot of room that you can write or use your own creativity in. And this is the journal. So that is the second one that I completely completed. The other one, like I said, there's more tags that's just not done yet. And I am going to probably do the cereal box one next, and also with fabric. And honestly, I thought that was my first fabric, the one I showed you guys on the previous video, but it wasn't. My first ever junk journal was a fabric, which I did, I think, about 3 years ago. And hold on, let me grab it. Which was this. And I don't know why I thought I never did fabric. I'm like, yeah, my first was a fabric. And I never really use it as much. I think I only used it one page, but it was so colorful and even, oh my god, I have so much signature in this. It's not even funny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8, 9. I have 9 signature. I would never probably put that much signature in any of the junk journal. It's not necessary. But this was so colorful, and I think I'm going to use it just because I think it should be used. But then I also thought that it's also my first ever junk journal, and I don't know what, I didn't put a date on it, but I think this is 2020. I think this is 2020. I don't know why I never put a date, because I always date whenever I write in, because I have one entry in here, but there's no date attached. But I did a video, so I would have to look at an old video, but I want to say it's 2020 that I did this, either 2020 or 2019, that I did this, and it had the shell on the side, and so this was really nice. One thing I noticed with this was, although I had a lot of signature, there weren't enough pages for the signature. That as you can see, it's not like this, because I definitely could have fit way more paper in this, because this one was, the spine was wide. This was a wide spine, but it's still my first, so I have it on display up here, and I like that it had the globe, and the back of it says a map of the world. I like this fabric. I wish I could find something similar like this, and make another one, but I can always remove these signature. One thing about when you have sew-in signature, you can just remove it and sew in. So I might do that. I might return to this, or I'm thinking maybe not, because it was my first, just leave it be, and fix the inside and kind of pack it up a little bit more. But yeah, but anyway, so I'm gonna end this here, and again, hope you guys had a great Valentine's for all my lovebirds out there, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.